and then okay, so so once actually okay, you have that okay, the particular material master CM system be available okay here for us okay, that okay, the maintain the product, and as well as okay, if you want to use a particular okay, the material okay for the EWM purpose, we have to maintain the warehouse view also. So and then okay, this is our business partner. So this is our material, and then okay, this is warehouse data. Make sure that okay, you just create the warehouse view for the particular material. Now what exactly okay we have to do is that okay, from the EWM side okay, now let's talk about okay, the basic settings of the EWM. Okay, so if I just okay, look at okay, the basic setting of the EWM. Okay, so first of all okay, what all the things okay we need to do it actually. First thing is that okay, the define the warehouse numbers, and then okay, like okay, defining all the logical systems, and then okay, that okay, the defining the business systems, and then okay, we maintain that okay, the plant storage location combination okay, plant storage location okay, combination okay, to availability group also. So these are okay, some of the basic settings okay, which we made it so that okay, when the document actually okay comes back EWM okay, it just okay goes and okay stores it okay inside that okay, the EWM. And I think somebody was actually having a confusion that okay, how actually okay this particular availability group is maintained. So I sent an email okay, to Shravanti okay, about how this particular stock data is managed in EWM. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hear right now properly?
No, my name already, the Punit Kotu, that is my user ID.
Okay. So, okay, I just forwarded this email to Shravanti so that okay, you can, she will forward to all of you.
The link I need to the install on that one, I didn't get.
What link actually?
Okay, clear to send me. Not this one. For server access one.
Server access actually okay, it can be sent by Shravanti actually. I think, because I think you will get separate user IDs, that's what I'm expecting.
Hello,
Punit, I will help you for that. Actually, I have given the access, but he don't know how to do that. I will help him today after the class.
Okay, actually the server sent by you, Shravanti, it's actually very slow. So for today I'm using the old server only. Maybe today I'll just compile everything and then okay, I'll check even the new server, okay, the settings, what is the problem also.
Okay.
Okay, so now if you remember actually last week okay, we had a in-depth discussion of okay, this okay, the how this availability group okay, it is mapped to the ERP stock type okay, which in turn okay, like okay, the relation between okay, the ERP okay, and between the EWM. So if you look at actually this particular diagram, this explains you that okay, the much more detailed way and a much simpler way. So you can see that okay, the availability group okay, 001, if you look at here actually, this availability group nothing but okay, we map it okay to the warehouse okay, particular storage areas only, or okay, the particular storage type. So availability group setting okay, we'll put it in the storage type setting. So if my stock is in a particular storage type, that is linked to the particular availability group and a stock type. So this particular availability group in turn okay, it mapped it to the stock type of ERP, and also in turn it mapped it to the storage location also. So that way actually you can always okay, have okay, the reference between okay, the ERP stock okay, to the EWM stock. Is it clear now this diagram? If you have this diagram in your picture okay, you can always okay, use it okay, to configure any of those things.
Okay. Srini.
Yeah.
This is Abhishek. I saw a strange thing today, and okay. I actually working with two different inbound deliveries.
Okay.
So what happened? One of the inbound deliveries I created from the vendor PO. And other inbound delivery I created from the 311 move.
Okay.
So what happened for the 311 inbound delivery? I was in the EWM. It picked up I think F1.
Okay.
Stock type.
Yeah.
For which for which I actually maintain the setting in that ERP map location in the EWM availability group.
Okay.
But the other inbound delivery for the 101 movement, which is for the vendor PO,
Yeah.
the inbound delivery in EWM, it picked up F2.
Yeah.
And system was saying like, you know, you have some missing configuration for my warehouse, plant, and that availability group.
Yeah.
So is it normal that two different inbound deliveries from two different movement types in ECC will look for the same material, for the same client and storage location,
No,
look
no,
at two different stock types?
No, I'll tell you the first question. Okay, is the document type okay? So this is like okay. We'll start from the very mathematical way. Is the document type is the same thing for both the delivery types?
Document type for for the vendor PO, the document the delivery would be EL.
Exactly.
And for the other one, it is DIG.
Yeah. So that's what. Okay. So for every that's what. When you map that particular delivery document type, okay, to the particular EWM document type, okay.
And
so the GR bin or the particular goods movement bin, okay, or the initial the goods movement bin, that may be pointing to the availability group F2.
Okay. So the GR zone storage type or whatever
that particular
10.
type. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's what, okay, I'll just show you that settings actually, okay, how do we map, okay, these particular goods movement bin, and then, okay, how do we link those things also?
So, so for different inbound delivery movements,
Yes.
do I have to have different bins?
You can configure it. No, you can, that actually,
not the bins, I mean storage types.
yeah, exactly. That's what you can have, okay, the starting point, okay, suppose like, okay, for if it is a rush order, okay, I want to, you got it right, okay, so everything is linked, okay, from the document type now.
Actually, what I'm doing, I'm using the same document type in EWM for both EL as well as DIG.
Yeah,
They
that
are
is
mapped
agreed.
to INB.
No, that is INB, okay, but, okay, can you just check that, okay, what is the first process type it is taking it? Is the process type is the same thing? Because the process type is the one, is it like 1010 only?
Right.
Okay, then if it is a 1010, what is the goods movement bin? Is the goods movement bin is the same for both of it?
Yes, it picks the same GR zone, yes, that's correct.
Okay, then if it picks the same GR zone, then ideally it has to pick, okay, F1 only.
Okay, so I think I just wanted to let you know, so I will again go and check tomorrow, and, or maybe after the class we can continue the discussion. I don't want to hold up the whole class.
Sure, yeah. So that's what, okay, if you look at actually this particular picture, right, okay, this actually, okay, that, okay, the driving of the document type, okay, from where it is coming it, okay, and from which storage location it is pointing, then, okay, it determines a particular availability group, okay, which actually is nothing but, okay, the property of the storage type in EWM.
Okay.
So this, okay, diagram I sent to Shravanti, or okay, if you can just send me the ER, okay, tomorrow I can ask her, okay, to make a distribution list or something, okay, so that I can just, okay, directly distribute to everybody. Now, okay, so we actually let us finish, okay, the basic configuration, okay, in the EWM side, okay, so we define the warehouse number in EWM, and we define the logical system, and we define the business systems, and okay, in the interfaces, okay, if you look at, okay, the interfaces on the ERP integration, so the delivery processing, sorry, the goods movement, okay, so we map that particular storage location, okay, from ERP system, okay, to EWM. So you can see that, okay, this is, okay, mapped it, okay, the EHYD warehouse, and then, okay, we mapped it, okay, to the two availability groups, and then, okay, this entitled to dispose is nothing but, okay, my business partner of my plant as a vendor only. So when I create my vendor in ECC, and if I distribute it to the EWM, so it command, okay, create it as a business partner. So that is a business partner, okay, which we assign it, okay, here also.
Shane, I have a question here. When we create a vendor, the plant as a vendor, we create the vendor for a particular purchase, or we just create the vendor just for the name?
You need to create a vendor, and then, okay, for that vendor you need to assign it as a plant only. So the plant itself is going to act as a vendor.
Okay.
Okay, so
do we have to maintain the purchase of data and stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So if you go to like, okay, I'll show you here. So if you go to the XK02, or okay, like you take any of the vendor, in the additional data, Okay, in the extras, okay, you might be knowing this thing, okay, in the extras, okay, I think once you go inside, okay.
Yes, sir. Once you go inside, you will see. Okay, yeah. I think
Yeah.
all of us
Okay,
know.
so then, okay, you just need to assign that particular, okay, the plant, okay, so that, okay, it can act as a, the same thing, you can use it as a entitled to dispose also. Now,
Okay.
once actually, okay, you create a plant and then shipping point, it will even create a supply chain unit also automatically. So the only thing that you have to do here is that, okay, once you create a supply chain unit, okay, so don't forget to maintain the supply chain unit hierarchy also. Okay. Otherwise, okay, your warehouse, okay, will not work properly. Okay, yeah, so I'll tell you that, okay, the transaction, okay, the supply chain, okay, the hierarchy, this is a transaction. So I don't remember, okay, always this long transactions, okay. So just remember that, okay, anything, okay, for the supply chain, okay, unit, okay, if you want to handle it, it starts with, okay, the SCMB, supply chain unit, okay, hierarchy maintain. So, this is, and also please, I'm telling you that, okay, once the warehouse is configured, you will not be changing these settings. These are like, okay, the one-time setup only for one warehouse. Okay, so our supply chain, okay, I'll show you that, okay, our supply chain unit, okay, which we created it, okay, for the H1D warehouse, okay. So you can see that, okay, the one supply chain unit actually got created for the Hyderabad plant, and okay, one supply chain unit actually got created for our shipping point also. Okay, so.
Srini, Sundar here. I just joined. Classmate for a long time, or I missed a lot, or what?
No, nothing actually. We just started it only.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this particular.
Srini,
Yeah.
so in this process, if we make a mistake, do we need to delete everything, or how will we really handle that kind of situation?
No. Come again.
For example, if you make a mistake after going through a certain process, like the creating warehouses, storage units, etc.,
Okay.
and if you make any mistake, or if we thought that the configuration is not correct,
Okay.
in that case, how will we need to?
Yeah, first actually, so that's what, okay, suppose actually, okay, whether it's this particular thing is going to affect your stock situation, okay, then I think, okay, what I can say is that, okay, just make them, okay, they suppose like, okay, let's assume that, okay, because these things, okay, unless you configure these things, okay, none of the documents itself will be executed in EWM.
Okay.
Suppose if this is the case, even actually, but let us take this some example that, okay, you did some wrong in the bin creation, and then, okay, you loaded already the data with stock with the particular bin, and then you want to delete, means first actually you have to make that, okay, you have to delete the stock, or okay, download the stock into an Excel sheet and then delete them, and then, okay, there is an initial stock upload transaction available in EWM.
Right.
So that actually you can execute it so that, okay, it will upload the stock again into the EWM. And then, okay, what we can do is that we can sync the stock with the EWM to the ERP also.
Okay.
Stock configuration check also.
Okay. So there is some backup work is required essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for the cleanup work you have to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, this is Raju. I have one question.
Yeah.
In one warehouse, you have the more than one vendors.
Sorry?
In one warehouse, you can have the more than one vendor.
Sure.
Vendor in the sense, actually, I could not get your question that, okay, the vendor means, is it like, okay, the inbound PO? Yeah, that means, okay, I can have it because.
No, vendor means you mean to say vendor is the owner of the plant, no?
No. No, because that's what, okay, you can have, okay, because, okay, when you assign it to the warehouse, okay, at max, okay, you can assign it, okay, that's what I'll show to take you through that, okay, the config again. So once you maintain that, okay, okay, let me finish this thing, okay, I'll just okay, take you through that thing, okay.
Okay.
So you can see that, okay, under the Hyderabad plant supply chain unit, okay, we have the Hyderabad, okay, the particular, okay, the shipping point as, okay, the receiving office, and as well as, okay, the shipping office also. So this is, okay, that, okay, how to maintain, okay, that particular supply chain unit hierarchy. SPRO, IMG. Now, master data. So once we define the warehouse number, so assuming then now that okay that our supply chain unit is available also, and even okay we maintained okay the particular supply chain unit hierarchy also, then what we had to do is that okay we had to assign that particular warehouse numbers. So in the assign warehouse numbers is a place actually where we need to assign that okay what is the corresponding supply chain unit of my particular warehouse, and then okay that okay the party entitled. So you cannot assign okay more than okay the one party entitled for one warehouse.
Really, question here. The supply
Yeah.
chain unit here is a plant you're assigning or the shipping point?
No, it's a plant supply chain unit only.
Okay. Is it necessary to assign only plant and not the shipping point?
It depends on the way actually how you maintain the hierarchy.
Okay.
Okay, so the
because
top level one we have to maintain it. So that's what. Okay, you can just maintain the shipping point, and then under that thing, okay, you can move to the plant, but that's not the right way, right? But it works actually. Yeah.
Because I'm seeing in one of the implemented systems, they are using the shipping point as the supply chain unit in the warehouse.
Yeah,
I
see,
got
basically
really
that's what I'm telling. Yeah, this supply chain unit actually contains okay only that okay the longitude and the latitude and the physical, the spatial characteristics of the location only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so that's the only reason only.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So we can use. Okay.
So-
all right.
Yeah, and then okay, so what actually okay after that okay if you remember actually okay. Then okay, once we define okay the basic settings and everything okay, then in the EWM side okay we defined okay in the last class okay that okay we defined okay the various number ranges okay, and then okay you remember that in EWM that whenever if you define any number ranges okay these are like okay the specific to the particular warehouse only. Okay, so we defined okay the various number ranges for that okay the warehouse task and as well as for the warehouse orders also, and then we define the number ranges for the wave, and for the warehouse order we define the number range for the consolidation group also for the VAS, the labor task, and in physical inventory documents also. Suppose like okay, so for each warehouse okay you just okay make sure that okay you define that okay the right intervals also. So we defined okay the particular from this range to this range. Next okay once you define okay that okay the number ranges okay most of the times okay these okay these are okay the available okay that once the number ranges are defined okay, next thing is that okay you have to define okay the storage types. Okay, so I was telling you that okay from the beginning of the class that okay in EWM okay first of all remember that okay every location is a bin. That means okay whether if you want to door also, if you want to define a door also it's a bin only. If you want to define a work center also okay it's a bin only. Is this concept is clear now?
Sure.
In EWM okay so make sure that like okay the every spatial characteristics okay in my warehouse is a bin only. So that means okay now tomorrow if you want to define a door actually, so what all the things you have to define it now, tell me. Suppose okay if my customizing okay if I got a requirement that okay I want to define a new door in my warehouse, so what all things you have to do it okay I have to define a particular storage type, I had to define a section, and then okay I had to define a bin also, and then I have to define a door, and then I need to link the door to the bin. Is it clear now? Is this clear now? So how actually the system okay the system or from the table perspective how this works it. Suppose if you want to define a door, first you have to define the storage. Yeah.
Kannan here. What is door? First of all, door is because door is also place, right? Location or what?
Exactly. Suppose okay your warehouse okay is like okay having like okay the 10 inbound doors and okay the 10 outbound doors.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so even if you want to define a particular door, that means okay each door okay will have some two directions, right? Whether it may be only for inbound or it's only for outbound or it may be for both also.
Okay.
So
because bin is already location, you are telling door, but this
exactly that's what. Okay, so I just want to clear this okay the confusion actually, because okay suppose actually later actually when the class is going on, if I'm going to define a door, first I will be defining a bin and then okay I will be making it as a door only.
Okay. Then you convert that bin into door.
Exactly. So that's why okay. So I just don't want to actually make the people to confuse here. So why I'm defining a bin? Why can't I define a door? Because in EWM every location is a bin only, So if you want to define a bin, you need to have a storage type and you need to have a section only.
Okay.
So now every storage type has a role that actually decides, okay, what kind of bins actually you can decide it. For example, it may be a work center, or it may be a staging area, or it may be a identification point, or it may be a pick point also. So every storage type, okay, has a particular role also. Suppose, okay, if I want to define a particular storage type, okay, by standard actually in the system actually delivers like a lot of storage types, okay, but okay, we can just define it like, okay, what will be the storage types. Do you remember actually that, okay, in our warehouse, okay, first actually what I want to do is that, okay, I actually want to get the goods into the GR zone, or okay, basically in the SAP EWM model, like, okay, your 9010R, and then I want to actually, okay, send them through a work center, okay, where I want to repackage, and then, okay, I want to store them in the final storage type also, either in the cold or, okay, the hot storage types also.
You don't want to do slotting.
So like this, slotting actually we'll do at the end of it, okay, once the goods are available in the warehouse, okay, based on the velocity of the picking, or okay, based on that, okay, like, okay, bulk goods I want to put it in the beginning, or okay, based on the effort, okay, we do the slotting. Slotting is nothing but like, okay, the result of slotting is a rearrangement.
Okay, got it.
Okay, yeah. So what we can do is that, okay, I just, okay, created actually the base configuration from the existing configuration, okay. What you can do is that, okay, you can just copy from the existing, okay, the storage types, or you can always, okay, can go ahead and you can create, okay, our own storage types. But what I will do is that, okay, I'll explain you that, okay, what are all the fields available when you are defining a storage type, and then, okay, how it influences also. Okay. So I'm just, okay, creating, okay, sorry. So in my warehouse, okay, EHYD, okay, I'm just, okay, defining, okay, one of the storage type, okay, as cold storage, okay. Now I was talking about, okay, these things, okay, that, okay, each storage type, okay, it has a role also. So if you look at actually this particular thing, okay, that, okay, the role, okay, so this is the one actually, okay, which we had to maintain it, okay. Suppose if you want to maintain, okay, the blank means you can just, okay, use it for the storage of the goods, or if you want to maintain the particular storage type for the to create a dose, you have to maintain the storage type role as a F also. Is it clear now?
Okay, yeah.
Or if you want to use a particular storage type, okay, for the ad management, okay, you have to make sure that, okay, you use the storage type role of G also. And sometimes, okay, if your particular storage type is maintained using the conveyor belts, that means, okay, like, okay, all that, like, okay, if you want to send a telegram and then you want to receive a telegram confirmation, so you make sure that, okay, if it is like, okay, this thing, if it is maintained by ASRS, then you have to maintain the storage type role as a H also. And if you want to create a work center where actually I want to pack my goods, so make sure that, okay, your storage type role is like, okay, the I. Okay, or if it is a production supply area, I want to make sure that, okay, the role has, okay, the K also. So this is actually, okay, that, okay, our cold storage, the final storage. So I'm just, okay, defining the storage type role as a blank, okay, and then, okay, that, okay, the level of availability quantity, okay, whether you want to put these things at the storage bin level, or, okay, you want to put it like, okay, at the highest level of, okay, the handling unit also. That means, okay, when actually it stores the line, like, okay, the quantity tables, okay, it stores like, okay, for each handling unit it makes one entry in the tables. I think you can just note down these two tables also. In EWM, these are the two tables, okay, which are very important, okay. One is that, okay, the SCWM quan, which actually, okay, the stores about, okay, the stores the data for the quantity attributes for each stock, and also, okay, that, okay, the available quantity also. Aqua. Okay, so this actually, okay, these are the two tables, okay, which, like, okay, the periodically, okay, they get updated and they may cause, okay, so many performance issues also to you. So even if some issues actually occurs, or if you find any stock inconsistencies, okay, we usually, okay, used to come and, okay, look in these two tables only, okay. And then, okay, if a particular storage type, okay, if you want to manage it as a HU manage, then okay, you have to make sure that okay, this particular okay, the checkbox is checked. That means okay, like a loose materials, okay, you cannot actually directly okay put these things. Okay, is it clear now? That okay, the HU requirement also, and then okay, that okay, the how many number of okay, the maximum bins is allowed also, and then okay, that's okay, the storage behavior, that okay, whether you want to add it to the existing stock is allowed, or whether it's the bulk storage, okay, the behavior of the particular storage type also, and then okay, the batch management, and whether it is relevant for the hazardous okay, the management. So what we can do is that okay, we can put in the warehouse task okay, this particular flag that okay, if a particular storage type is actually hazardous relevant, okay, I want to put say special picking instructions, or okay, I want to group them in a separate warehouse order also. And then okay, this particular quantity classification okay, we'll talk about okay when we are going for the packaging specification. That means okay, I just always okay want to minimize okay, because there are no entries maintained here. Okay, I want to minimize that okay, the number of loose packages okay from the picking, so that okay, I always want to minimize that okay, the number of loose packages. Okay, so that okay, we'll be using it. Okay, there is something called as okay, the external step. This is actually that okay, the very much important okay, for that okay, the process oriented storage control. Okay, so what is the process oriented storage control? Do anybody remember actually we discussed this thing in the EWM overview? Suppose let's take this example that okay, I got the goods receipt, okay, and then okay, I want to apply okay the paint okay to my goods okay, whatever I receive it, and then okay, I want to pack it, and then okay, I want to do the put away. Is this clear now? So if you look at actually that okay, how many total okay the warehouse task actually it has to create it. So one warehouse task from the GR down to the painting, and then okay, or it may be the painting, or it may be the deconsolidation also. Okay, and then okay, from deconsolidation, once I separate the goods, I want to send it to the packing work center, and then okay, I want to do the put away. So each of this okay, the dotted notation is a one okay, the warehouse task only. Is it clear now? So when I in a particular packing work center, okay, once I okay that assume that okay, I pack the particular my HU, and then if I close the HU, that means okay, once I'm done with the work, then automatically it has to create that okay, the warehouse task from here okay to the next location automatically. Is it clear now? So that is the place okay, this is the external step. Okay, so each of these things like okay, each of this is okay, the one external step okay, which you will be defining in your process. Like okay, S1 is a one step okay, and then okay, paint or deconsolidation is another step okay, and pack step is okay, that's three okay, and then okay, the final put away. So like okay, there are okay, the four steps actually involved in my process oriented storage control. That means okay, suppose okay, if I get a rice okay, see here, let's this example okay, if rice I get means okay, S1 and then S3 and then okay, S4 only okay, but okay, if I get okay that okay, the sum of my Maggi packets okay, then I want to send it through S1 and then okay, S2 and then okay, S3 and then S4 also. Is it clear now? And then okay, each of these steps okay, it may be going through different number of okay, the work centers also, or different work centers. So that is that okay, the external step okay, which you have to assign it okay, for a particular storage type. If it is relevant okay, you can see it like counting or unloading, deconsolidation, pick, pack, or you can define it okay, whatever the steps we like it also. We'll see that okay, in the process oriented storage control concept. Okay, suppose like unconsolidate okay, unload, deconsol and then put away also, or pick and then pack and then okay, load also.
So
now
this particular storage control process is triggered for a material. It is maintained for a material.
No, it's not maintained for a material, but okay, what you can do is that okay, that's what for a particular material okay, what we can do is that okay, we can maintain a process type indicator.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay. This process type indicator actually determines the process type. From there actually we can drive the process.
Okay. Okay.
Is it clear now? Suppose let's take this thing. Tomorrow okay, I got okay some pickle also. So pickle also want to go through the same process, S1, S2, S3, S4. So what actually Maggie and Pickle will have common is that, okay, both of them, okay, will have that, okay, the same process type indicator.
Okay.
Is this clear now?
And where we can do that setting?
Okay, I'll just, okay.
Mobile master.
Okay, okay. It's okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll just show you quickly, but okay, we have not actually entered inside, okay. But okay, you can just remember it so that you will not get confused later, okay. What are all the things, okay, we'll be doing it, okay, in the product, okay, in the warehouse product. So, in the warehouse data, we have something called a process type determination indicator. Can you see this field?
Yes.
Okay, so you can maintain that particular process type indicator. Based on this thing, actually, you can determine, okay, the various process types in the warehouse also. Okay, so now I just, okay, define this thing, and then, okay, you can just maintain these things, and then, okay, if you want to, okay, make sure that, okay, the confirmation of the putaway, you have to do this thing also, then you have to put this thing, and once the final putaway is completed, then you can check this particular thing. And what kind of putaway rule actually, okay, you can just define whatever the type of putaway rules actually you want to define it, like addition to the existing group, or okay, only the same consolidation group,
Next
or
time
only
table.
to the next M table, okay, like this kind of, okay, the putaway rules you can configure it, and as well as, okay, that, okay, the stock removal also you can put it also, and then whether split is allowed or not also. Okay, so split during the putaway is allowed or not also. And most of the times, okay, we'll not be using these things. And this is actually that, okay, the warehouse task, okay, the generic. This is actually that, okay, the very important, or okay, the most interesting thing is that, okay, I don't need to actually, okay, specify that, okay, the bin when I create a warehouse task, okay, but it's like, okay, the generic bin only, it will just propose it, and then later you can go and, okay, override it whenever if you want it also.
Okay.
Okay. And then,
I
okay,
think during putaway we can see an example.
yeah, exactly. Or okay, suppose like, okay, when you are doing the picking, okay, I will not be knowing that, okay, what is the destination bin. Okay, when I confirm it only, then only, okay, it will be coming, okay, I'll be putting it. And then, okay, if you want to, okay, activate that, okay, the ID point for this particular, okay, the storage type, okay, then always, okay, what is the ID point in a warehouse? Identification point.
It's storage type where we can put labels, or we can separate the handling unit.
Exactly. Suppose like, okay, I'm having a one big storage type. What will be the goods coming into my warehouse? Always, okay, it has to go through a scale where they have to be weighed, so that, okay, it has to go through a check, or okay, after go through a contour where it fixes, where it finds that whether it can fix the box or not, whether it fits the box or not. So that, okay, what it will do is that, okay, whenever my ID point is active, if a warehouse task, okay, or if a particular warehouse task is pointed to my particular this storage type, it always, okay, goes through the ID point, and then only it will come to my storage type. It will not directly come to my storage type.
So ID point is set for a storage type.
Yeah.
Okay. So before coming to this storage type, it will come to the ID point, and then it will come to
Exactly. So what we'll do is that, okay, we'll link, okay, the, now my question is that, okay, how do you define ID point now?
There must be a role for another storage type as ID point.
Exactly. So what you have to do is that, okay, even if you want to define an ID point, okay, so that itself is a storage type, okay, and that storage type, that bin location is of a type of, okay, the identification point. Is it clear now? So that actually you have to remember it. Okay, suppose if I want to define this ID point, okay, where I can define the ID point, those things, okay, and then, okay, whether you want to do the capacity check or not, okay. Okay, so usually, okay, for this demo purpose, okay, I'm just putting it, okay, that no check, okay.
Srini,
Yeah.
if we need to define a custom putaway rule rather than the standard ones, so where can we do that?
No, we can define actually whatever we like it actually. I'll just show you actually. And then, okay, even actually when you create a warehouse task, okay, we have a very nice body available, okay. We can just put it like, okay, whether the particular task is allowed or not, okay, we can do a lot of coding there actually.
Okay.
Okay, so once you define a particular storage type, that just
Is it done here itself, or the custom putaway rule can be defined here itself, or
not here actually. There is actually other node actually where we can define the putaway rules also. But if you want to have actually our own logic, that suppose let's take this example that when there are let's take this example that you have that the some of the goods which are going to get expired soon, and then you don't want to mix the new goods with the old ones actually. Suppose based on you have some custom table if it contains 10 days of remaining expiry date, you want to put them. If it contains less than 10 days, you don't want to mix with that particular goods.
Right.
Okay, so these kind of things are actually not supported by the standard system. So what we can need to do is we just need to write a small code so that we can just put whatever the rule actually we want it also.
Srini?
okay?
Yeah.
Can you please increase the font a little bit?
Yeah, I can do that thing also.
It's a little smaller to...
Yeah.
So if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
In SAP EWM, when you define the master data for a storage type, when you define storage type, I think there are user exit indicators in the definition of storage type, right?
Yeah, Putaway and packing. Putaway and
Yes, right.
removal.
Correct. So
right.
I don't see anything here which can actually call a user exit or something.
Yeah,
Or-
here actually we don't have it. Okay, here we put it in the warehouse task creation only.
Okay.
Okay, but that actually if that is available here, that should be good, but it's not available to my knowledge. But even if it is there, I can just check on that thing also. And same thing, whether if it's a pick point is active also, we just need to check this particular thing. And if you want to actually whether enable the negative stock, negative stock is allowed
Only
or
if you
not.
check that one, then it will negative stock.
Exactly. Okay. Otherwise, it will not allow. And then the what kind of the stock removal rule actually you want to configure this particular storage type also, whether it is a FIFO or the LIFO or last in first out or the first thing is thing also. Okay.
I mean, we can put sled also, right?
Sorry.
Sled.
Yeah, we can actually, that's what, we can define it, whatever the rules actually we want it. I'll show you that, in the GR side, we have, the n number of rules we can put it. Or the same thing in the GI side also, we can put various number of rules also. And then, we have the, because, there are,
Srini?
yeah,
all this information we need to discuss with the warehouse people and decide, right?
exactly. So what actually SAP EWM is available is that for most of the common scenarios it provided the template storage types already available in the 0001 warehouse.
Okay.
So see, that's the advantage with SAP is that for a generic kind of thing, most common use kind of storage types are already provided by the standard. So even what you need to do is that you just copy them and then use it for your own naming convention only.
Okay.
So that you don't need to bother about what all the flags need to be set, what are all those things. So that you can use it as a ready-made kind of solution.
Okay.
So it's also SAP selling the product as something called RDS or something, the rapid deployment, where they put everything in one small thing ready to go to the market. Okay.
You know what? They ask $9,000 to implement rapid deployment solution, RDS.
Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, so you can now suppose actually in the HU packing control, the destination HU, how do you want to actually control these things also? So whether you want to have the same pick HU itself or the pick HU itself actually if you want to propose it. Because I have not ever used this particular thing, but I can just check on this thing. What is the use of this thing? This particular flag, I have not ever used it also. And the most important for us is that the availability group also. So because the code actually I'm going to use it as the final storage type. I'm going to make this availability group as the 002, and then I don't want to do the goods issue posting directly. And if you want to actually maintain that if you want to include the replenishment also, that means this replenishment the settings actually will make it we'll make the settings in the material master for the particular storage type link also. In the storage type view, okay, we'll be maintaining it in the material master. So, okay, so storage bin level or okay, the storage type level, okay, you want to make the setting. Usually it is at that, okay, the bin level, and then okay, the tolerance also have not used it. So, okay, during the production, especially for the creating a warehouse task with the minimum quantity, okay, causes the okay.
Nobody uses it.
Yeah. Creating a warehouse task. Because I cannot use this flag, okay, but I can check actually in the help that okay, what is the use of this flag, because okay, sometimes okay, even I did okay some 3 to 4 projects, but I cannot use some of the fields actually here. Okay, so we just defined okay the storage type.
So it looks this is a very important part of the configuration,
Yeah.
right? Srini?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, we already defined this thing. Okay.
So that's already defined there.
Okay. So okay. Sorry. Okay. So we defined okay this particular storage type. Okay. Is it clear now how actually like okay what are all the settings available okay in a particular okay the storage type? So similarly okay what we can do is that okay let's okay take the same thing like, okay the EHYD. Yeah.
Suppose if we have 10 inbound doors and 10 outbound doors, so all these doors will be covered under one storage type, or will they be part of a different storage type under which that particular door lies?
No. See, thing is that okay, you have to actually okay, you can okay define it okay. Usually, most of the times okay, the doors okay, we put it under one storage type only. The role of okay, the one which has this thing, unless actually okay, you want to actually separate that okay, the inbound doors and the outbound doors.
Okay.
But okay, 90% of the cases, okay, we just create one storage type and it used to have the role of a door, and then okay, we put all doors in that particular storage type only. Okay, so now, yeah, okay, so we
So
define
then,
okay,
in that case, then in that case, these storage types would be linked to each other, because in reality we might have only one storage type, and but for creation of the doors we need to create a separate storage type. So at the end we would be
that's what okay, that okay. If you want to define, see first of all okay, yeah, first of all if you want to define a door, first you have to define a storage type of having a role of door only.
Okay.
And then okay, you define how many number of okay the bins you want it inside the particular storage type, and then you define how many number of doors you want it.
Okay.
And then we need to link the doors to the bins.
Okay.
What is your doubt exactly now? Can we put it into the words?
Okay. My doubt is that if we have a cold storage, so cold storage is one storage type, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have in that particular cold storage, we have say 50 doors. Okay.
No. The doors are okay. Not to the doors are to the warehouse.
Yeah. That is coming next on the configuration.
Okay.
Yeah. See, doors are actually to the warehouse. Okay. Inside. Okay. The thing. Okay. I think I missed that slide. It was in my another laptop. Okay. So if you look at actually. Okay. Let me.
Check on the
Usually. Okay.
It is there.
No.
In the warehouse doors.
No, I'll tell you. Sorry. I'll tell you, okay, I'll just write a small diagram so that, okay, you will not have, okay, the much confusion. So I'll put, okay, the doors like, okay, that, okay, like these things. So assuming that, okay, these are the doors, was inbound, okay. and then okay I have okay the cold here, and okay the hot here, and I'm having okay that two sections in the cold, and okay some 3 sections in the hot, and also okay I'm having a packing work center here, okay, and also okay, assuming that okay I'm having okay these are the things. Okay, now is it clear now? Okay, so this is actually the see this okay is like okay the warehouse, and then okay we have a storage types, okay, and then okay these are the doors, like okay the inbound doors, and okay also you have a outbound doors, and you have some work centers here. Is this clear now? What is a door means now?
Right.
Okay, so the doors are actually okay, which like okay I can say that okay they are at the warehouse starting points, or okay the warehouse end points, or okay they may be like okay just before the ad. Because okay you will be putting a truck here, and then okay you need to assign the truck to the door here.
Okay. And one door is always one bin.
Yeah, one door is a one bin.
Okay.
Okay, and then after the door, okay, what you usually will have is that okay you will be having okay the staging areas. Okay, so when just you unload the goods, okay, you will be putting them in the staging areas, and from staging areas then it will go to goods here. Okay.
And on the side it will be assembly area. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Is it clear now?
So in that case, we would have two storage types. I mean 3 storage types. One for cold, one for hot, and the others for the doors.
Exactly. Now you got the concept. That's what I'm telling, right? Okay, if you want to define a door, okay, you have to define a storage type of a roll of the door. Okay, so that's what I'll show you that. Okay, that particular okay the what actually we are going to define the role also. So EHYD. Okay, so this is our warehouse. Okay, I just want to find okay pallet pack. Can you see here now that okay the 9030, see you can see that okay there are 2 storage types okay separately, one for the inbound doors, and they used okay one for the outbound doors also. So if you look at actually this 9030, the only difference you can see that okay the role, can you see here in the last configuration of cold storage type, okay we use that as a blank, but here you can see that okay the storage type role is used as a F actually.
Doors.
Is it clear now? So if you want to define any doors actually, you cannot define it for another storage types. You have to define it to the bins only in this particular storage type only.
Okay.
Okay, so we just defined okay that okay the one cold, and as well as okay the one hot zone also, and also we just defined okay this is actually that okay you can see that okay the GR area, and for the GR area you can see that okay the role is okay as a staging area group also, so that okay I can define okay the staging areas okay in my particular okay the storage type also. Okay, now once you define all your storage type, okay, next thing is that okay you have to define okay the storage sections. Okay, so we just saw these things, right? Okay, so one storage type, okay, I just want to define okay the multiple okay the sections also. So I just want to actually okay copy some of these things, or okay you can just create okay the new entries also. So in my EHYD, in our cold storage or in the cold storage type, okay, I want to define okay my first section as okay the low rack section, and also okay I just want to define okay the one more storage section.
Can we define the sections based on their velocity?
Sorry?
Can we define the sections based on their velocity? If it is a fast moving, it would be near the door. If it is slow moving, it is away from the door.
Yes. So okay, what you can do is that okay you just okay define okay, suppose like okay you just define okay the 2 sections inside this thing. And then okay what we can do is that okay in the putaway control, okay, see in the putaway control, ultimately in the warehouse, okay, if I want to do the putaway of the goods, so what are all things I have to find it? First thing is that I have to decide it that okay in which storage type okay I want to store the goods. Is it clear now?
And then with storage.
And then okay.
Storage
And then
section.
okay, in which storage section I want to store the goods. And once I find these things, okay, then which bin actually, okay, I want to store the goods. If you don't like any of these things, then okay, user exit. It's as simple as such, this thing. Okay, so in the put-away rule, okay, so if you know that, okay, if you have that, okay, the high velocity goods, okay, so how actually you'll be knowing that, okay, the velocity of the goods, that, okay, you will be having, okay, that particular, okay, put that as a particular process type indicator, or okay, the put-away control indicator, you can just maintain the put-away control indicator in the material master. Is it clear now? Suppose let's take this example that, okay, I got like, okay, the summer wear and as well as, okay, the winter wear also.
Yeah.
So all the materials of, okay, the summer wear, okay, are having, okay, the put-away control indicator, okay, from, okay, the assuming that, okay, the March to June, I'll put the put-away control indicator as, okay, the H1, so that, okay, it automatically goes to that, okay, the nearest bin only. Or in the winter, okay, I'll just change them into the reverse, so that, okay, these things I can control it in the material master. So based on the material master settings, my put-away control indicator, if it changes, my put-away control indicator actually drives these set strategies. I'll show you that thing in the very now. Actually, we're going to do that thing. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
So this is like, okay, that, okay, the
So that,
kind
that
of,
thing we
okay,
have to, that thing we have to change it manually each time, depending
Yeah.
upon the.
Exactly. Now
if
that's
it is
actually
summer or winter.
exactly. Now you asked the perfect question. So actually, see, like changing the manual means, okay, my warehouse contains, okay, the 25,000 materials. How do I know that, okay, what indicators to put it, right?
Yeah, right.
So that is why actually, okay, we have this concept called as, okay, the slotting. Which actually, okay, finds that, okay, slotting means what it is? Find the right storage concept for my material. That is actually, okay, that actually determines what kind of put-away control indicator it has to determine. Then it is our decision whether you want to use that thing or you want to ignore those results also.
And these settings are in material master.
Exactly. So that's what the slotting, okay, the ultimate results actually goes to the material master. Is it clear now? So the logical questions, okay, at the end actually, like this way, it answers everything in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice question you asked us, okay. Okay, so is it clear now? So we just, okay, created, okay, two sections, okay, inside, okay, our cold storage type. Similarly, okay, if you just want it, okay, for other storage type also, okay. Even I'm just defining, okay, the two storage sections, okay, in the heart also. So there are no specific settings in the storage section. It's just like, okay, defining, okay, as many as you like it only. So only in the storage type only, okay, we have a lot of, okay, the fields that you have to remember, or okay, at least, okay, we have to refer them, that what all the fields we are using it. Okay. Next thing is that, okay, you can just define, okay, the storage type groups also. So if you want it, actually you can just define it, or okay, you can just, okay, ignore it also. So we just, okay, using like, okay, that what kind of, okay, the rules you just want it, or you can just define it, okay, as many as you like it also. And each storage type rule actually, so it's like, okay, combining, okay, multiple sections or storage type. If you want to assign the same kind of rule, you can just define it here. And then you can see that once you define the storage types, you can just link them to the storage type groups also if you want it actually. Okay. Next thing, okay, once you define the storage type and sections, okay, you just need to define, okay, the particular, okay, the bins also. So before you are defining the bin, you have to define that, okay, the what type of bins actually you have it, or okay, what are all the access methodologies that you have for a particular bin also. Okay, so I just want to, let's assume that, okay, I want to define a bin size of, okay, the cold bins, okay. So you can define it, okay, as many access types you wanted for these things. And whenever if you want to define any of the bins, okay, you have to define, okay, the structures also. So define the storage bin identifier for the storage bin structure, okay. So in my, okay, you can see that, okay, that aisle, and then, okay, the stack, and then, okay, the level also, and then okay, have that okay, the bin, and as well as okay, the depth of the bin also. So this is okay, the common okay, the standard okay, the delivery settings okay, for the any warehouse, or I can say that 90% of the warehouses you will have a aisle, and then okay, the stack, and then okay, the level. Okay, so this is the way actually. Okay, the main thing okay, the advantage of this thing is that okay, you can generate the bins okay automatically. I'll show you that okay, how to generate okay, the particular bin also. Now once I define that okay, this thing okay, then I need to define okay, the bin structure also. Now can you see here now that okay, the how actually okay, we are going to define that okay, the bins also. So in my okay, the EHYD, I can define okay, the n number of sequences. So for each storage type okay, in each storage type and each storage section okay, I can define okay, the template. So what is this template does? Can you see here now? You can see that okay, the template okay, the CCCC and then NN and then C and then NN. So this C means actually okay, they are the particular numbers only, and then okay, the wherever you can see that NN okay, you can find them as okay, the incremental or okay, the changing ones, like okay, like a counter actually. Suppose like okay, let's take this example that okay, I just okay, want to have my bins like 101010 to 1010 hyphen okay, 99. So I will define them like okay, that okay, the CCCC okay, and then okay, as okay, that particular thing okay, and then okay, I can specify that okay, the starting value as a 10, and then okay, and then okay, the particular incremental counters okay, which I can just define it also. And for each of the structure okay, you have to just maintain okay, the particular start value. You can see that okay, the start value 00010 0101 to 00010 till okay, so that it can create okay, the maximum of okay, how many bins it can create it here from 0010 01 012 0010 10 10. So you can see that okay, the AE is changing like okay, 10 times, and then stack is actually changing 10 times. So how many bins I can define it in this thing?
100 around.
100. So 10 for on the AIL, and then okay, 10 on the stack. So, or if you want to have a level also, so that okay, you can just define it, and even the bin and even the sub depth also. So like various templates are provided by SAP, or okay, you can just define it okay, what are the storage things okay, which you like it also. So now what I want to define is that okay, let me define okay, the our okay, the thing for the cold storage type okay. So sorry, copy as okay. Now in my storage type of okay, the cold, in the section this thing, and okay, I just want to create a bins of okay, the type of okay, the cold bin types. We just defined okay, the cold bin type okay. Now what I want to define is that okay, and then okay, you can define it like okay, suppose like okay, each time okay, you want increment of 1, or you can specify that okay, suppose like okay, assuming that okay, 1 1, or okay, maybe like okay, 5 5 or anything, but most of the times okay, you may have it like 1 1, or okay, what you can do is that okay, it need not be actually 0 1 also. You can okay, like assuming that okay, you can put it from AA to ZZ also here.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can define it like a alpha numeric also, or in the worst case what we can do is that okay, you can put in all the bins in one Excel sheet. Okay, most of the times okay, the companies okay, may have that okay, they want to use that existing bins already, they may be using it, right? So what we can do is that okay, instead of using the template okay, we can even do the mass upload of the bin master data also from the Excel sheet okay, directly to the EWM.
For that we need field names and the tables, right?
Yeah, exactly. No need of field names actually. The standard program is available.
Oh, okay.
Okay, for the bin upload. So what actually you just need to do is that you just provide the Excel sheet data in that particular template format only. Otherwise, okay, what the people do is that just copy the program name to the G program, and then they just modify it, and then okay, identify the duplicate bins and all those things. Okay. Now.
Srini?
Yeah.
This in the template we have like the CCCC up to the end, right?
Yeah.
So it should be always like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, see, you can see that, okay, no, it's not like I can say that always up to like this thing, okay. suppose, okay, it defines, okay, the template. I'll tell you this example. Okay, the template, okay, the C means it has a constant and N means it has a numeric incrementer.
Okay.
Okay, so N stands for the numeric character between 0 and 9, and A stands for the alphabetic letter, and C stands for the character common in all the bins. Suppose like, okay, let's say that in my warehouse, let's take this example. Okay, in my warehouse, all the bins are going to start with AA, or in a particular storage type. Is it clear now? Suppose like, okay, let's take this example. I want to actually, let's take this thing. I want to have a bins like this thing, AAA 01, and then I want to have a constant of A, and then
10.
ZA, let's take this thing, ZA 10. And from here, I want to have a bins like, okay, 99, A, and then let's take this thing ZA 99. So how many bins actually here? I want to have, okay, the 100 here, okay, from the first thing, the incremental 100, and then here also that, okay, one more 10 to 99, okay, like, okay, 90 bins. So like, okay, the 9,000 bins actually I can just define it in this range, right?
Okay, Sine.
Yeah.
But here, like you mentioned AAA, right?
Yeah.
So in the talk we should mention only like CCC as 3 times only?
Yeah. So now, okay, let's take this example. Okay, how many characters are there? Like, okay, 3
4.
plus, okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 are there.
Yeah.
Automatically it fills.
So, but bin is like, okay, the 18 characters. Okay, so even though you are seeing it as a AAA here, okay, it is like, okay, that, okay, the 5 spaces plus, okay, this thing. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Right. Is it clear now? 5 spaces plus the remaining 13, which actually makes my 18 characters.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so even the space is a constant now. See,
Yeah.
what are all the options we have to make it like, okay, one is a C, another is, okay, the character, another is a numeric, wherever actually you are incrementing it.
Okay.
So you have to make it like, okay, the 5 spaces, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Exactly, and then, okay, wherever actually, okay, I just want
And
to actually,
C.
okay, put them, okay, the characteristics, okay,
AAA,
A, and then also, okay,
C.
that, okay, the,
C,
if you want to actually have a
NN,
hyphen, or, okay, that, okay, the starting value, and then, okay,
C, and
I
then
want to
NN.
increment, okay, and then C, and then, okay, I just want to have, okay, the
CC,
alphabets, right? Okay, so
CC, NN.
yeah, CC, and then, okay, the NN. So now in the starting value, I had to specify all spaces here. If you look at actually, can you see here now?
Yeah.
These 18 characters, even you can see that, okay, there is a space here. Can you observe this thing?
Right.
Okay, and even you can observe this, okay, the starting value is also, okay, mentioned like this thing only.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a template only, nothing else actually. Actually, if you can just refer this thing, okay, you can see that, okay, can you see here now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then NN. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you see here now? I'm just, okay, moving my cursor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then NN. So NN is nothing but, okay, AIL. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see that, okay. So these are the constants now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are done. AA. So this is going to be my variable from 0 to.
Yeah.
Which is like, okay, equal to my NN. And then after the 0 to, I have a C. The C means constant. What is the constant? Hyphen is my constant, which is common for all the bins. And then NN, I want to increment it. So NN, so it's 0, 1. Again, okay, 1C, which is a constant. And then again 1 NN. Okay, can you see here now? And then if you want to specify any alphabets also, alphabetical increments, then you can specify the AA. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's basically a template only which you can define it. So the advantage is that, okay, instead of you typing all the bins, okay, if you have a template, okay, you can generate the bins only. Okay, now once you define the bin structure, okay,
So
if you
we
want
have a
to generate
standard program to load the pins.
yeah, I'll show you. Yeah.
One question, do we always have to have the hyphens in the locations, or can we define
No, it's not actually mandatory. See, that's what you can just define. Okay, the like cold one, or okay, the bin like okay, I can say that okay, B cold one, or okay, I can just define okay, the B.
You can define any kind of format.
Even actually, I can define even the normal names also. I'll show you actually.
Okay, can you please go back to that format then?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Here,
Please tell me. Yeah.
here, if you look at the structure, right? In the structure, we don't have the hyphens there.
Where?
In the structure column, right? It is defined without the hyphens.
No. See, you're not.
There is a space.
No. See, you just missed my point. Instead of hyphen, I can have an ampersand also. I have no issues.
No, he's talking about the structure.
No, the
Template.
structure. You want to say the structure?
Yes.
No, template.
No. This structure is for the incremental values only.
Oh, okay.
You got my point, right? See, wherever okay, the odometer okay, the changes, right? See, 0, 1. Okay, so on these two things I am changing it. On AIL and stack only, these are the incremental values.
Okay.
Once 10 are received, okay, just increment this value.
Okay. So the constant values, the portion that's not changing.
No,
you
this
define.
see, cold hyphen, it will not change. This hyphen, it will not change. You can see that only 0, 1, 0, 1. These are the only things. So AA and SS.
Okay.
Suppose let's take
Instead of hyphen, you can use any character.
Yeah, see, that's what. Let's take this thing. Okay. Now, if you have 1,000 AILs, so how do you define it now? Now, I want to actually see here. I want to have the bins like 001 to 01 to cold. Okay, suppose like 001 to 999. Okay. 2 hyphens. Okay, 99. Now tell me, how do we define these things? See,
Okay,
I want to have
see.
now I have like 1,000 AILs actually.
Yeah.
But in each AIL actually I have only something like 1 to 99, like 99 bins only I have it now.
Okay.
So
I got it. It's C, like 6 C's and then.
see, please remember that the template is always for 18 characters. So how many spaces you have it, and then you may have that the code, everything is like everything is represented as CCC. But in the template structure, after all the spaces, see, you can see that all the spaces you will have the triple A here.
Yes.
Is it clear now? And in the start value, we'll be mentioning it as cold 001. In the end value, you will be maintaining it as cold 999. You can see that. Is it clear now?
Yes, Rene.
Yeah.
So, which essentially means in the structure, whatever values are changing, we will define those in the structure column.
Exactly. That's as simple as such. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is clear, but it's a bit confusing though. I mean, one would expect.
First time actually confusing. Yeah. So first time, that's what. Remember the template is like 18 characters. You can see that the spaces, and then even the what I'm telling is that even the space is a constant.
Right.
Okay. So that's what. If you remember, the space itself is a constant. This 18, it will be matching to this 18, and then you will be putting only the constants only.
Constant the variables.
Yeah, variables are whatever it is. Yeah. So now let's see that if you want to create a storage bin here manually, suppose in EHYD, I can just put you can see that I can define it whatever the way I like it in a particular storage type. And then a particular storage section I can just define it. The EHYD. Sorry. The whole storage type. In the 001.
000.
Yeah. And then if you want to actually manage the thing, and then this is like the defining the maximum weight and all those things are yeah. And then you can maintain the x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate also. So what is the use of maintain the x coordinate, y coordinate, and z coordinate for these bins actually? What is the use of actually putting these things?
It gives the dimensions of the bin size, right?
No, the coordinates are
it's not the dimensions actually. It's a place actually. But what's the use of this thing actually?
So to calculate the travel required and all
Exactly. Okay. That okay. If you know that okay in the mathematics okay every point in the warehouse okay is represented as a coordinates like x1, y1, z1. Okay, in any I think you might have learned this thing mathematics also. Okay, and if I have okay the another bin called as x2 okay in a position called as x2, y2, z2. So I want to make sure that okay my picker actually okay travels only the minimal distance to complete his work actually. Is it clear now?
Yes.
So we just need to calculate okay the Euclidean distance between the bins. Suppose like okay there are two pickers actually. Assuming that okay one guy is actually want to pick from this bin first and then okay this bin first. See I have okay like okay the four bins B1, B2, B3, B4 actually. Let's take this thing example. Okay, I have 4 pick requests pointing to the 4 bins now. Is it clear now? Let's take this requirement. I have 4 pick requests pointing to these 4 bins. Now I have okay 2 pickers. Okay, want to actually okay I want to assign this work actually. My constraint is that okay they have to okay the travel that okay the minimum distance in my warehouse. Is it clear now? So if I assign actually okay that okay the B1 and then okay the B3 the distance may be only 3 and then okay the B1 to B4 okay the distance actually okay that okay the maybe 4 and then okay the B1 to actually the B2 the distance may be like okay the 5 and then okay B2 to B3 the distance is like okay the 4. So you have to make sure that okay how do you actually suppose if I just assign this work like okay the B1 and B3 to this one picker and then okay if I assign it okay that okay the B2 to B4 is like okay the 4 and assuming that okay the B3 to B4 is like next to the bin only. So then I just want to assign this work to the minimum. So how do I actually okay assign the permutation and combinations to my picker workers so that okay they have to travel the minimum distance calculation. Is it clear now? So if I want to know the distance between the bins I should know the XYZ coordinates only.
Srini?
Yeah.
So Srini, yeah. So in reality, how will we calculate, like manually, or we have some kind of mechanism to do?
No, actually. So what actually you can do is that okay, once you define that okay the bin structure okay, you will define it okay the warehouse okay itself as okay the x y coordinates and then okay the depth as a g coordinate, right? Is it clear now? So if you actually okay you know like a 2-dimensional okay you'll be knowing this thing, right? Okay the x coordinate and then okay you may have okay the y coordinates also. So in the space actually suppose like okay if you want to know the distance actually x1 and then okay the y1, so it's like okay the square root of okay you might be knowing these things like okay the x2 minus okay the x1 square plus okay the y2 minus y1 okay the square, that Euclidean distance between the 2 points. So in the normal system, right, okay, when you define that okay the bin structure okay there you can specify that x increment and y increment also between the space between the bins, so that okay when you generate the bins automatically they will be created with the corresponding x coordinate and y coordinate. I'll just show you that thing also. If you define your bin structures, can you see here now? You can specify that okay the x coordinate, y coordinate, g coordinate, and then what is the x increment and what is the y increment and what is the g increment also.
Okay.
Is it clear now? So that way you don't need to type it okay the manually. Otherwise okay if see it's basically nothing but like okay putting your warehouse on a paper and then okay putting the positions only, so that okay you want to calculate the distance between the bins as minimal as possible for the pickers. Okay, so once you define the bins, okay, next thing what you can define is that we just went and okay defined that okay the bin okay the manually also. Otherwise okay what we can do is that okay you can actually okay that okay the generate the storage bins also. Okay, so what we can let's do
automatic.
okay, yeah exactly. Now I'm just going to my cold storage type. I just want to generate the mass bins actually from like 100 bins I want to generate it. So you can just simply go here and then you can create the bins also. I'll show you actually. Can you see here now? It will create these many particular bins, and you can see that they're all created with that corresponding
100 bins
coordinates also. So instead of typing manually like 100 times, system actually generate with my particular template, and then I can just simply create all the bins in one go. So you can see that the 100 storage bins actually got created also in my cold storage type.
Is there a transaction code for deleting the storage bins?
You can do the mass deletion also.
No. Oh, okay. Mass change it.
Otherwise, in the change itself, actually, you can just go ahead and you can delete the bin also.
We can do change and delete, and then we can create. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that actually, you can do this thing also. So there is a mass this thing also. Now, so is it clear now? How actually we just the generated the storage bins. So we just created all the cold bins. So you can see that it generated all these bins like automatically, and as well as we just created the one bin the manually also. So instead of hyphen, actually you can just use whatever the symbol you like it also here, but most of the times it used to be the hyphen only. Is it clear now? So how actually we just define these things, and then in your particular warehouse you have to define the staging area, so that which you want to link them to the particular doors also. So usually the staging areas are somewhere actually the next to the door only, assuming that I have a door here, and then this is the place actually where I just want to store the goods. That's nothing but like something called an unloading point only. So the staging areas you can have it for the GR and as well as for the GI also. So you just define the staging areas. So in my warehouse, we have the one for the GR, and I have one for the the GI also. So you just need to specify that what kind of role actually that particular staging area is going to play also. So you can just define a particular storage type as a staging area role. But if you want to define again one more question, if you want to create a staging area, what you have to do, make sure that you have defined a storage type, and that storage type should have a role of the staging area role. Then only you can define a staging area. Is it clear now? See, if you want to define a staging area, first of all, you have to define a storage type and make sure the storage type should have a role of the staging area. Then only you can define this thing.
So this means that doors will have one-to-one relation with the staging area?
No, I can assign like the same one staging area to more than one door also. Suppose like two doors can have the common staging area. Suppose if I'm getting the good from this door and as well as from this door, both of them actually can have that the same staging area only. So that I'll show you actually. Now what actually it has to do, suppose if I get a goods from this particular door, it has to go to this staging area. That means the staging area which is nearest to the door, it has to determine, right?
Right.
So so that kind of the settings I will just see. So actually today I just need to have some small work. So tomorrow actually what we'll do is that we'll just define some doors, and then we'll receive the goods into the warehouse also. We'll just define some GR bin, these things.
So at what time
so can
tomorrow?
you just finish the config till this, the same time we'll have it? Tomorrow is Wednesday, right?
Is Renee?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yeah.
At what time tomorrow?
Same time.
So 8 o'clock Eastern time?
And
Yes. Yeah. So can you try till this settings, and then make sure that you are able to replicate your inbound delivery to EWM.
Srini,
Just
I have
define. Yeah.
I have one question
Yeah.
related to the integration model. So can I
Yeah.
go ahead? The
Yeah,
thing
please
is,
go ahead.
the integration model that I generated, I wrongly generated the objects for, different receiver, logical system.
Okay.
So now it is not,
It will not
moving
allow.
that. Yes, right. So now
So
what I
you
need
do
to
is,
do is,
you just go to the BD64
okay,
and then delete that integration model from the BD64, then it will allow.
okay.
Okay, see, that's what I was telling you. If you remember actually last class, when you generate the integration model, ultimately it creates entry in the BD64 only.
Okay.
So you just simply go to the BD64, the integration model and just delete it straight away.
Okay.
And then it will allow you to create one more model again.
Okay.
Okay?
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, no issues. Actually today I just had to go some outside, so I just putting this thing at 8:30. So tomorrow we can have it like half an hour more extra. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks everybody. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir.